The other two are closer to the motherboard, and this one is a little bit raised now. So go ahead and tighten that, and then we'll go back and do all of these. So basically you're hand tightening this. You don't want to use an electric drill. It can do more damage than good. And I'll keep doing this until they're tight. Alright, so they're nice and tight. Now I've got to put the CPU cooler back on. And to do that, we're going to put these hooks into the holes on both sides and get it in there. Alright, so we've clamped this down on here, both sides, and it is good to go, folks. Basically, it's sucking in cool air from this side, pushing it across the heatsink and then out the back. I have not added a CPU fan yet, or excuse me, a case fan in the back. We'll do that eventually. But that's all there is to this upgrade. Thanks for checking out. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you. Alright folks, so I am upgrading this computer. Got the i3-10100 in here, and I have an i9-10900F. Of course, that F means we will need a graphics card, and so eventually we'll put one in here. But this video, we're gonna take this one out, hopefully put it somewhere safe. Normally you'd use electrostatic gear so that you know, don't wreck this CPU, the motherboard, this and that, right? So I'm in Africa, really not a whole lot of concern about it here where I'm at. It's pretty freaking hot. Now if I was back in Virginia in the cold winter, I would actually be super concerned about it. That said, we'll, you know, still touch the frame of the computer, hopefully neutralize anything there that we'd have to worry about. So let's go ahead and get this one out of here. I've already taken the CPU cooler out, and we're basically picking up from there. Now, you know, lots of ways later when you put the next CPU in, but you know, simplest might be to go, okay, it's oriented like this. The way I'm looking at it, the text is oriented right? So, then we're just gonna hopefully gently get this out of here and put that somewhere safe. Now, so here's my CPU, and I've got it in the same orientation. Now, if I didn't, I'd be looking for a couple things. One, this little triangle here. Your motherboard right there has a triangle, and this guy has a triangle right there, okay? So, a couple places. Now, if we had the plastic doohickey on top of it, it most likely also would have a triangle. So we're going to put this in. I want to do it nice and gentle. Now, if you see real quick before I drop this in, there's a little groove there cut out on the board for the CPU, and a notch in the socket there, one on each side. So there's no way to put an 8th or 9th gen chip in here because they have the cutout in a different spot. Alright, so this is where you want to make sure it's seated good, okay? And kind of try and slide this back and forth, make sure it's doesn't move. And it looks to be in there, folks, okay? So once that's in there, you're going to take this, drop this down, make sure that can get in there like so, and then boom, the arm's down. Now we're going to put some thermal paste on here. So we have some Noctua paste. The Vetroo CPU cooler that we're going to have on here did come with a little packet. It's pretty much one time only, so we're going to use this tube. This is, you know, probably a little better anyways. And so we're going to put about a 4mm diameter dab of thermal paste in the middle of the CPU. Alright, so I'm right-handed. Normally I would not do this with my left hand, but I'm holding the camera, and hopefully we'll get Get this out. And this tube is getting close to being empty, so there we go. That's about the exact amount. And the tube is empty after that, so that's all we're going to get. From here, I'm going to put the CPU cooler on top of it. Alright, so before you reuse a CPU cooler, you want to make sure it's nice and clean. I'm going to wipe this one down a little bit more. As I can see through the camera, it's not quite where I want it to be, so we'll do that and then we'll put it on there. Alright, so orientation is everything with the CPU cooler. This case does not have, well, this one has the power supply up top. So this is a mini tower, and you know, we don't have additional venting on top. So though some of you may use an option in mounting this in that direction, in this case you've only got the venting out the back, so you'll want to go have it oriented this way. Okay, so we're going to do that. Alright, so we're just going to gently put this in place, and we're going to go around and lightly tighten some of these screws down one at a time. Not all the way, right? We're going to get a few threads on and go diagonally, and then go back and get the other two. Alright, so far I've got a few threads on this one, a few threads on that one, and now try and do this guy actually on the camera, or on camera. Hopefully that's lined up. Sounds like it is. So we got a few threads in there, and then this one's going to be possibly the most difficult, because it's the other two are closer to the